Hi, I'm Brian Hofstetter. I work in the academic upgrading department at Conestoga College at the Waterloo campus. I'm the coordinator there, but I also teach math to our LBS learners. I'd say the college and academic upgrading are here to deliver quality education to support our students' needs and support them with their academic success. For the upgrading program at Conestoga, we offer a variety of, or Conestoga offers a variety of certificate and diploma programs. And for the most part, upgrading, I'd say, especially at the Waterloo campus, about 80% or more of the learners that come through our door are looking to get into post-secondary. So they're looking to get into those certificate or diploma programs. One thing I should mention is our programs won't get people into the degree programs. So that's one thing when people come, sometimes they ask about the degree programs. Our courses are considered equivalent to college level kind of high school credits. So those credits, you'd need university level credits to get into the degree programs. But for the most part, students come to us, they want to go to post-secondary, either in a certificate or a diploma program. We offer math, English, biology, and chemistry. And our program's actually offered at 5 different sites. So we're at Waterloo, Cambridge, Guelph, Stratford, and Brantford. And those classes are all offered at all those sites. They are offered a little bit differently though. So for Waterloo, our biology and chemistry, they're all teacher-led courses. And Guelph is also teacher-led, and the other 3 sites, Stratford, Cambridge, Brantford, they're self-directed. So, and just the same at Guelph and Waterloo, math and communications or English is also self-directed. So the way the self-directed courses work is we give you materials, the students work through those at their own pace. But there's always instructors there. I want to say in the classroom, but obviously right now we're working remotely. But you have availability to ask questions and kind of write tests whenever you're ready. So you would just ask your teachers and they'll give you a hand. So you always have that help kind of accessible to you. The main reasons people, so I mentioned they want to get into post-secondary for the most part. For different reasons. Sometimes they went to high school and they didn't take the right credits and now they know what they want to do. And high school might not be an option for them, so they can take our courses to kind of fill those gaps in their learning and then apply to a program. Sometimes they went to high school and they took the right courses, but their marks aren't high enough. So depending on the program you want to go to, the marks you need to get in vary. So sometimes people have the credits, but their marks are too low. So they come to upgrading to improve that mark, and the college will take whichever mark is higher. So if you come to upgrading and you do our math course and you get a 90 and you took a math in high school and got 65, they'll disregard the 65 and focus on the higher grade. Another reason people come is it is an adult program, so typically students are 19 years of age or older. We can have exceptions to that, so the occasional 18-year-old will come to the program. Where was I going with that? So students, when they come to us, sometimes they have all the prerequisites, but they're just rusty. They haven't been in school in a long time, and they may have everything they need to apply and be accepted, but they don't just want to go to college. They've been out of school for a long time and they don't want to go and then be like, oh geez, I wish I'd done a little bit of work beforehand. So they'll come, they'll do some brush up to make sure they're ready, kind of get used to being back in the classroom again. And then they'll go to their post-secondary program. The other small fraction of students we have is we do also offer GED preparation. So some learners will come to us to prepare to write the GED, which is the high school equivalency test. Yeah, so we also will help with that. When someone comes to us and they're looking at doing upgrading or what have you, the first thing you would do before you start upgrading is we'd have you write an academic assessment. So no matter what LBS association you go to, they will have you do an assessment first to kind of see where you're at academically. And based on those results, that kind of tells us where we go from there. Okay, so if your scores show that academically upgrading is the right fit for you, then we will follow. Then you will then go to an orientation and fill out paperwork, and we can discuss when we can get you started in the program. It is a continuous intake program, so we're not, even though we're at the college, we're not semestered. So we start new students pretty much every 2 weeks. So no matter when you contact us, we can kind of get you started fairly quickly if this is the right fit. If your assessment scores show that they're too low and you need to, then all that means is, I know some people are like, oh no, I failed. It's just an assessment to kind of to see where you're at. So if the scores come in and they're too low to start upgrading, we would refer you to one of our community partners to work on building up your kind of your core skills in whatever area you need. And when you get to the level that you can start in our program, they will refer you back to us, and then we'll start your upgrading journey. So I try to tell everybody it is just an assessment. It's not a test. No matter how you do, you're going to start upgrading, whether it be at Conestoga College or one of our community agencies. I guess I need to know what the other agencies in the community do. So we do meet monthly. So I think all of us kind of have a pretty good idea of who does what, where, and when. I'll need to know from the learner when they can study. So everybody has different circumstances. Either they're working full time, working part time, they're home with kids, or they're taking care of relatives or what have you. So all those things are important to know for me to make a referral. And also the assessment results, which we're going to have you do the assessment. Those results will also help me to decide where and how I make a referral for that individual. So to get a referral from another agency, we all know each other pretty well. So there is usually a referral form that comes with a learner when they are referred to us. On that form will be their assessment results, kind of telling us what level they are in for whatever subjects they need to be working on. Other information, we usually get a synopsis of what they've been working on at that other organization, any issues or barriers that we need to help that learner with at our site is very helpful as well. The biggest thing for me is when people are referred, it's really important for us that they know what they want to be doing. So some students, they want to go to school, but it really helps to know what for, so that we put them in the appropriate courses. So sometimes people come, they're like, I want to go to college. I'm like, okay, we offer like hundreds of programs. Like, what is it you want to do? And it's important to us because different courses have different prerequisites. So you might come to me and say, well, you tell me you want to get into a trade. Okay, so we got to do math and English. And then 2 months from now, you realize, you know what, I really want to be a nurse. And I'm like, okay, so now we got to start a different math course. We got to now take biology and chemistry as well. And we've wasted a little bit of the learner's time, right? So it's kind of important to us to have a goal established. So if a learner doesn't have a goal, we'll usually refer to the Conestoga has a career center. So I'll refer them to the Conestoga Career Center to work with a career coach to kind of look at what my strengths are, what my weaknesses are, and kind of help guide you to an appropriate goal for that learner. There's other agencies in the community that do that as well. Lutherwood being one of them. The working group as another one. So there are other agencies, employment service agencies in the community that can help with that as well. So it's really important. If a learner doesn't know, I'd rather them establish what it is they really want to do first, because that helps motivate the learner too, right? If someone comes to me and they don't really have a clear goal, typically things don't go as well as if they did have a clear goal. That varies drastically as well. So I would say anywhere from 2 months to a year. Average is difficult because we have some students that are with us more than a year. We have some students that are with us 2 months. So if I had to put an average to it, let's say 6 months, but a lot of different variables come into play. So and I kind of mentioned some of these earlier as well. So if a learner is working part-time, full-time, they're taking care of kids, like home lives, because we're dealing with an adult population, there's many different I don't they're not all necessarily barriers, but things that keep them from their focus on their studies, I guess, right now. So those things all play a role. How much time can they actually dedicate? Also the number of courses. So I mentioned earlier, if somebody comes to us, nursing is a very popular program. Someone wants to get into nursing, there's four prerequisites they need. That's a big load for someone that maybe hasn't been in school for a while. So sometimes that could take people up to a year to finish those. And then sometimes people come to us and they only need one course and they're done in 2 months. The nature of our program too, because a lot of it is independent study, that is really good for some people. They go at their own pace and they can go really quick. Other people that might prefer a classroom, it might go a little bit slower because they don't have that person at the front instructing them like they're used to having. So yeah, it's kind of a wide range. There's a lot of variables that can play a role. Also, it's easier to tell sometimes based on their assessment results. Sometimes people come, they do the assessment and their scores are super strong. And usually that tells me that this is going to go a little bit quicker than some of the others. But